This is the first in a series of short videos where I look at characters. So many films are weighed down with unengaging, unoriginal characters. By looking at how great and not so great characters are written and represented in films, hopefully our own films don't suffer the same fate. First, Robert Graysmith. This character is fantastic because he A, goes against several of the screenwriting conventions I'm sick to death of seeing, and B, in a film so packed with plot that has so much to explain to the viewer, they've found a way to develop a unique and interesting character at the centre of it. Some screenwriting gurus would tell you that a protagonist should be active from the start, strive for a goal which they achieve at the end, and have a character arc where they overcome a failing in their personality and become a better person. Let's see how well Graysmith's character sticks to those conventions. From here on, this video is going to have spoilers. Graysmith's story is about a cartoonist who ends up relentlessly pursuing the Zodiac killer long after the police have given up. It's a story about destructive obsession. Graysmith is questioned on his motive several times.
What's your angle? This is good business for everyone but you.
But the film doesn't try to explain it. It lets you see what he does, and you never have any trouble believing that someone who starts as a bit of a nobody.
Robert Graysmith?
Mm-hmm.
I've been here 9 months.
Ends up driving an investigation no one else wants anything to do with. And along the way ruining his marriage, endangering his children, and in the middle of the night screaming through the window of a police detective who has told him on multiple occasions not to contact him. I think this transformation works because seeds are planted early and often. Graysmith is a passive character for the first half of the film. Events are unfolding around him.
Did he say they got a print?
His kid doesn't listen to him.
I swallowed it.
Why?
He chases his editor around just to be told his work sucks.
Alright.
And when Zodiac letters start arriving, he's kicked out of the meetings.
Robert, you have a deadline?
And ignored.
He won't give his name.
And his peers aren't exactly sure about him.
What's the story with the kid? He seems a little touched or medicated.
But during this period, we get glimpses at the elements of his personality that will later come to the fore and in many ways destroy his life. He steals trash from the reporter he works with to see what's happening in the case.
Why you been going through my trash?
He loves codes.
In this book, the author presents a very simple substitution code in the preface.
And has an obsession with finding patterns in things, no matter how far-fetched.
Have you considered the water theory?
What?
Geographically, every attack takes place near a body of water
What's
or
your water
water-based
theory?
name. Lake Berryessa, Blue Rock Springs, Lake
Wash,
Herman.
Wington, and Cherry?
You think?
And most importantly, he has a single-minded focus.
How did you know he wasn't going to give his name?
Dangerous animal. Dangerous animal. Oh, what dangerous animal? How do I know that?
At this point, he still has a good relationship with his kids. He tries to shield his son from news about Zodiac on the radio.
I shall wipe out a school bus some morning. San Francisco police.
While all this happens, the investigation is being pushed forward by Detective Toschi and the journalist Roger Avery. But as the official investigation into the Zodiac winds down, Graysmith ramps up. This is nicely illustrated by this shot. Detective Toschi sits in his car at the scene of one of the murders. He decides he's had enough and leaves. As he does, Graysmith pulls up in a taxi.
Thank you.
And as his involvement in the case increases, the parts of Graysmith's personality hinted at before build to destroy his relationships. He allows his son to watch the Zodiac phone into a TV show and only turns it off when it gets really bad.
Okay.
Fantastic.
And by the end, Graysmith is using his kids as a research team, immersed in the murders.
One day before the vernal equinox, Dad?
Yeah, mark that.
Similarly, when his wife tries to temper his obsession with the Zodiac, his changing attitude is beautifully illustrated in this shot, where she moves her head in front of the TV while he's watching a news report on the Zodiac. But he can't help himself.
Just go.
Columnist Herb Payne and the department's own David Toschi by name.
Even as he puts his face in the paper,
What's the one thing we know about Zodiac? He reads the Chronicle?
and someone who may be the Zodiac begins calling his house.
Hello, who is this?
he simply becomes more intransigent in his resistance to our pleas.
Are you done? Can I go?
And by the end, he barely misses a beat when he finds out she's taken their kids and left. In one of the last times we see Graysmith, the single-minded focus hinted at earlier has built to a final horrible obsession. He's in his apartment surrounded by Zodiac files. He's left his job, his wife is tired of him, and he won't see his kids.
Can't have him see me like this.
Neither can I. So do whatever you have to. Finish this.
Robert Graysmith, passive for half the film, fails in his goal, and in general becomes a worse person by the end, and yet still one of the best written characters in modern films. Apparently, getting away from the screenwriting formulas won't ruin your film. Thanks for watching. I'm trying to make something a bit different from the million other video essays that are out there. So if you found this useful, please like, subscribe, hit the bell, all that stuff.